Where the hell am I? Place that I like to call Destination X.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the number one, the right reality podcast. My name is Stephen.
And my name is Mixie. We are here, no matter the place, to record and give you the recap for Destination X Episode 2, Take It Up a Notch.
Okay, really quick, episode title review.
I would say they have taken it to an L. Boo.
Okay.
We need, you know what we need? We need puns for the country they're in. Switzerland. So that's all I'm going to give you because my brain can't do that right now. But
They really burned the title.
give him some air horns, people.
Burn the title and start again. Mm-hmm.
That's beautiful.
Thank you.
I should address the elephant in the room. This is not a green screen.
No, we're playing our own version of Destination X at home, the home game.
We are. Should I tell them where I am or should I
No.
just give them clues?
I think you should give them the least amount of clues. I want to see if anybody gets the state right in the comments, let alone the city.
Okay.
You want to maybe give them one clue, maybe?
Okay. It's where white people from Ohio love to go.
That's a fantastic clue. And the comment section is going to be out of control.
And I can't wait to see it. I am here with my family. I am on family vacation. Full transparency. I've been at the beach all day. I've been
Hell yeah.
partaking.
Whoa,
So-
no free promos. Whoa, cover that lid up.
I'm sorry,
Cover that
I'm sorry.
can. Oh my God.
I have been
Oh.
partaking. And I will continue to be. So, you know, this episode is what it is. And to be honest with you, this episode of Destination X was what it was. Steven, I'm not going to lie to you. I didn't love it.
See, I don't like to hear that. I actually enjoyed the episode, but I do want to start with last episode. In case you guys didn't know, we did have an exit interview with Josh.
I was not there again.
Yeah.
I'm doing things.
She was doing things, including ducking Josh.
I'm not
exactly
ducking
right.
Josh. I'm
I
not
think that's
ducking
what
Josh.
happened.
I will reach out to him separately and have a completely separate interview that will just drop randomly and not be connected to anything just to prove that I'm not ducking Josh.
Okay.
But
All right, I believe you. Okay.
will that be at the end of this episode then, Steven?
No, it's already been released, but I do want to play a little snippet so everybody can see how glorious that is so they can go listen to the rest
A
of it.
little teaser, you may say?
A little teaser, some might say. And
Okay.
I asked Josh, you know, when he was eliminated, he kind of got up, gave a little rant, and been like, this
Mhm.
guy. And I was like, yo, was that like a crash out moment or was this like a premeditated attack? And here's what he had to say.
No, 100%. I wanted to do it because I wanted to put a target on him. I wanted people, bro, I've done so many games, so I know when people are moving and like if they're gaming. And Rick was a gamer from jump. He was having one-on-ones and I saw it. I just didn't call it out. I was like, I'm going to, chill, Josh. Like, you got some time. I was out first. I had no time. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to put a target on him and try to buy my people that I want to see do well, like Biggie and the team that I worked with go far. So that was all intentional. Now, what I regret and what I wish I would have done different is played more aggressive. I'm more of a like, I'm going to take control and take matters into my own hands. And instead of letting Biggie go see the town, I wish I would have done that. Because then I would have been like, I'm in Italy, I'm in Rome. I know where I'm at. Instead of like having to go based off of information that they were giving me.
Well, there we go. Josh and his genius gameplay at it again. Listen, I understand what he was trying to do, and I even get into this in this episode because clearly in this episode you can see Josh's words carried a lot of weight and affected Professor Rick quite a lot in this episode, and it honestly hurt me. I still, and maybe I'm just under the professor spell, I don't think Rick is this like massive manipulator guy. I just don't see him like that. I think he truly thought it was Milan and he had said in the beginning that he wanted to be in an alliance with Josh. So I honestly think he was trying to help him. I just think he was wrong. And Josh, if Josh was so set on Rome, maybe he should have trusted his gut.
In the interview, he said he was set on Rome for 2 days.
2 days? There you go. Then don't trust a random guy that says something out of nowhere and from what we saw, gave no backup as to why he thought it was Milan.
I don't understand, and we talked about this in the last episode, that if you're not sure, why would you take somebody else's advice if they're not 100% sure?
I think that Josh is mad at himself for trusting this guy, and he's just taking it out on Professor Rick. I'm still Team Professor Rick. There's so many great lines from him this episode as well that we're going to get into. But I just, as of right now, I am trusting my personal gut. I just think Rick was truly trying to help him and wanted a friend. And boy, did that backfire on Rick.
It did. It backfired tremendously. That's part of what we're going to do. Hopefully we'll have interviews dependent. We'll hopefully have a little snippet at the beginning of each episode. And at the beginning of each episode, we might have another delicious little treat for everybody. Roll that beautiful bean footage.
Hi, it's Mom LaFranc with my take for the Right Realities coverage of the new show, Destination X.
Mama!
First, I have to agree with Stephen and Mixie that the host is very appealing in so many ways. But TJ Lavin will always be my number one. Second, I also agree with Mixie and Stephen that there are many characters on the show, but none more outstanding than Josh. He already stood out on the first episode, and I am sorry he's already out. Third, they are going to have to make the destinations harder than the capital of every country in Europe. If we get Paris as the next destination, it's going to be way too easy to guess for future episodes. Overall, after only seeing the first episode, I give it a 9 out of 10.
Oh.
That's my take.
Okay, Mom. I like it. I agree with her. We got to go away from the capitals, but I personally think they're starting easy, and I think every episode as we go is going to get a lot more difficult.
Yes.
So I guess overarchingly for this episode, I just felt like the games were not explained very well.
Okay.
I didn't follow what really was fully happening. Maybe that's a personal issue of mine, but I'm curious if other people felt this way, and I'll get into it as we go. Secondly, a lot of the clues that led us to the actual specific location of what it was, Lake Geneva,
Switzerland. Yes.
I'm sorry, Jennifer Aniston and Eva Longoria in 2 framed photos is bullshit. That is bullshit.
I'm supposed to sit here, Allie, I love you, and think that Allie saw those 2
This
photos
is what I'm... Thank you.
and was like, I got it.
Eva, no.
No.
When I saw them, I'm like digging in my head, like, what's their ancestry? You know?
Who are they married to?
Exactly. Yeah. Did they have movies in specific places? Because Eva Longoria has that entire series, like, exploring Spain.
I don't understand it. We'll get to it at the end because I have it's very frustrating.
A rant.
There's a rant at the end.
Great.
But,
Great.
Listen, also coming up on this week's episode, we had random fit changes just out of nowhere, just a random fit. We'll talk about the logistics of random fit changes when they're not supposed to be seeing anything. Feels illegal and possibly predatory. Allegedly. The best going to commercial line maybe ever on television.
Mm-hmm.
And we play Mixie's favorite game.
I can guarantee it's not. Let's get into this episode.
Spoiler alert, she's going to love the game.
I'm not going to love the game.
I want you all to remember that right now. I want you all to remember that. Okay.
We'll see.
They open up on a town mix. And I'm like, oh, we're in Switzerland.
I also immediately knew we were in Switzerland. And that says a lot because, again, Who is the worst at geography? This girl. So the fact that I got it immediately, and then also once they got dropped on that mountain, like if anybody thought anything other than Switzerland, like, you know what I mean?
Like they're like Germany? No, you're in Switzerland.
No.
Okay.
Respectfully, Rachel, no.
To Germany. Okay. It just didn't happen. Over like you went from Rome. That was a bit of a drive to get from Rome to the Alps. First of all, also I saw the layout and I was like, I think that's Zurich. I was wrong. I've been to Zurich. No big deal. Pretty traveled.
Flex
Ladies' DMs are open. Pretty traveled, and was like, I'm pretty sure that's Zurich. I think the little island in the middle I've been to. Again, wrong. Shouldn't have listened to me.
Yep.
I'm going to say this. I didn't like the opening. I don't want to know anything when we're starting. I want to be as confused as they are when the episode opens. I understand what you're doing. You're setting the expectations. But at the same time, like, I just want to, I want to see the mountains when they do. I want to play along the entire time. If you've been to Geneva and you saw that, like I thought they were in Zurich, you're like, the whole time you're like, oh, I know where they are.
Yeah, and that was kind of different than how I felt like episode 1 was.
Correct.
We really didn't get a lot of information we did at the beginning of this episode for episode 2. So I was a little disappointed in that. I do want to cut to the first scene we got in the bus. We have Mr. Loyalty telling Allie and everyone else, because this sleeping situation is so small, that he's sleeping naked. How do we feel about that?
Awful. I feel awful about it. That should be illegal. He should be immediately kicked off the show. You know what it doesn't? Do you know what it doesn't breed? Loyalty.
I would agree that loyalty is probably the last word that I would align with sleeping naked on a bus with however many, 9 other people.
With 9 other people that you've known for 4 days.
Yeah, I'm out. I do prefer to sleep without clothing on personally, but that is in my home.
Yeah.
With the doors locked and not people I met 3 days ago. So
correct.
I just felt like it was weird, and I agree with you, Stephen. In no way, shape, or form is that loyalty.
It's not loyalty.
Check your chest, sir.
If you're poo-bearing it on a bus, I question so many things about you. Also, Allie, if you knew this and continue to pursue something with a Pooh Bear, you're going to wear a shirt, but you're going to be nude from the waist. That is a immediate red flag.
Well, if it was it's a girl, I feel like it's a little bit more understandable because maybe the blanket will fall and you might pop a tit. So maybe keep a tee on.
Sure.
But again, I would not be going in the nude with this many people on a bus to begin with.
I'm talking about as a guy.
That's weird because you can nip out and you're allowed to, which that is a whole other podcast that I could get into. That's bullshit. What happened to equality?
Yeah. Free the nip everywhere.
Everyone should be allowed to nip out. But but regardless.
7s and up. 7s and up. 7s
yes.
and up.
This is a Black Mirror episode. You can only be at a certain level of your tier to be allowed to nip out.
Because if a 4 is nipped out, oh, that's just a downer for your day.
Okay, but Stephen, as I say, hole is hole and tit is tit. Disagree.
Continue.
Got it. Moving on. I think one of my favorite lines from this episode was Rick sitting at the table and just going, I am looking for an alliance. That
Rick.
is an awesome way to look for an alliance. That's sick as fuck. I'm so in. Just to sit there and be like, I would like everyone to know I am open to an alliance if anybody wants to come talk to me. I am in search for an alliance. Thank you.
God. I just wrote, oh, Rick, buddy.
I love it. And this is what I'm saying. You can't tell me this man is calculated when we're sitting in a corner being like, hey, please come to me if you're looking for an alliance. I know everyone's mad at me.
Also, the awkwardness that you have to be the rest of the people at that table to be like, I'm just not looking for anything serious right now. Just trying to be casual with my alliances. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, and obviously alliances are being built, but no one's like, hey, I'm in an alliance. And Rick is like, I would like to be in one. Thank you.
Honestly, I don't think I would. At this point, I haven't seen enough to like help me build an alliance. Also, I don't trust any of these people, as we saw in this episode.
Yeah.
It comes down to like, I'm putting a bell on a rack and then somebody else is going to come in and move my bell.
Don't get into the bells right now, Stephen. We cannot get into the bells right now.
Okay, we'll warm up to the bells. It's a little foreplay for the bells.
Yeah.
The other thing I wanted to discuss, because I feel like we have to, Allie's fit. I feel like she watched a lot of the last couple seasons of the challenge and was like, I got to show a lot of cleave.
Okay, are we mad about this?
No. I just thought we needed to discuss it to make sure that everybody understood that we knew, like we clocked it, and that like as the number one, we're not going to not discuss the cleave as we've always done on every season of the show.
Well, yeah, I mean, we're not Ray Charles. We clocked it along with literally everyone else.
I mean, what a power fit. Also, if you have cleave like that, I feel like she just gets away with everything.
Oh, yeah. Well, and are we going to sit here and say it's not a strategic play to pop some cleave?
I don't know if she thinks it's a strategic play, but it is a strategic play. I think she's just living her life.
This is where I am. I think Allie is smarter than she's leading on.
I do too.
And I think that she, like, what people think Rick is what I think Allie is.
Ooh.
Hot take.
Okay.
And I'm not hating. I appreciate it. I love a good gameplay. Just like the next person.
And we love a good cleave. If I get both rolled in together?
Yeah.
Okay.
Who's mad? Not me.
Not I either. Like, what a great situation. Also, I just want to state officially for the record, like, whatever, girl. Like, no big deal. Like, hold on. I got to put on my best inner fuck boy. Now that I like built her up. What's up? Like, whatever. You're mid. You're like at LA 7. No big deal. Whatever.
Oh.
Dime a dozen out here.
Oh.
Whatever.
Allie's going to be in those DMs ASAP, Steven. You nailed that.
I don't care.
You got to get yourself a little earring. Maybe a chain.
I don't need to do anything for any woman.
Nice. Nailed it.
We got a busy life. Maybe I'll get back to you. I don't know. I got things I'm doing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I've done so much this weekend.
You know what I did this weekend?
I
tried to figure out what the Odyssey was.
Okay.
And
how'd that
also,
go for you?
I wrote down the other thing he said at this point, the way I wrote it. First off, there's a red underline, so definitely misspelled it. Hold on.
Oh, she's getting closer to the screen for those of you just listening.
Odysseus?
Odysseus?
Is that what they said?
I don't remember.
I didn't know what it was.
Where was this?
In the beginning.
Oh, okay.
They were talking about the Odyssey and the Odysseus. I was just like, mm-mm.
I was like, no, not me.
And I was watching with a friend, and I wrote down, what is the Odyssey? And he goes, don't say that out loud. And I go, I wrote it down, so I gotta say it.
Yeah.
What is it?
Don't say that out loud.
I've already embarrassed myself. I need to know.
The Odyssey is like one of the like OG stories of all time, written a long time ago, about like
Jack and the Beanstalk.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Okay.
It is currently Christopher Nolan's new movie that he is shooting. That's going to have everybody in Hollywood in it, basically.
Cool.
At the Oscars, people are like, where are all the people? It's like, they're shooting in Italy with Mr. Christopher Nolan right now.
Okay, and that'll be like 2 years from now?
I think maybe a year now, because he doesn't do a lot of effects, so very practical kind of guy, Mr. Christopher Nolan, but... Got
it. I'll know what it is in a year. I'll get back to you guys then.
Yeah. It's like one of the most... The whole thing was that it was... I believe it was like never written down for a long time. It was like just passed down. The story was passed down, and there was people who would read it aloud and stuff like that. It's no big deal. It's not part of Destination X.
That's fine.
Okay. Mixie, our 3-name host is back.
Yes.
And he's back giving clues, allegedly.
From the coolest crib setup I have ever seen. I want a, shit, now I can't remember what it's called. MTV, I want a welcome to my crib of this spot. It looked so sick.
Yeah.
And also, can I just say, Mr. Jeffrey Dean Morgan saying, fuck going on this bus. I'm not getting up. Bring the cameras in. Film me. I'm streaming to the bus. I'm not getting in there.
Nah,
you want me outside? Bullshit. And he does it again later, which I'll get to. But I like this man, and he's just like, I'm not getting up.
He's like, I gotta get up. I like a seated position. I'm Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
Not a chance.
And listen, there should be a counter of the amount of times we actually see Jeffrey Dean Morgan standing, because I think it's only one an episode.
So far, it has been very few and far between.
But he's standing on the bus at the end, but he's also like holding the sign. I don't know if this is like an injury and I'm making fun of his injury and he can't stand for long periods of time.
So sorry.
Or he's just like, listen,
I'm tired being this attractive. I can't stand.
My dick is so heavy I have to sit down all the time.
I'm just going to lean it on the ground so I can put my body weight on it.
Listen, if you had a dick as big as mine, you'd understand why you have to sit down all the time. It's so girthy and heavy. It's just such a, like ladies got massive tits, their lower back. And my entire body hurts because I'm just being pulled down by gravity.
And he's like, fuck the snow. They get dropped off. We're going to talk about that. They get put on a mountaintop. And Jeffrey Dean Morgan goes, I'm not getting in the snow. Give him a walkie-talkie.
Do I look like a snow type of guy? No. I will throw out on my little hidden message to everybody, time is ticking. And I was like, Switzerland. Nailed it.
Yeah.
No big deal. No big deal. No big deal. Man.
I did, when they showed him in his little crib, I paused it and I was looking behind him and there were two swans. And I was like, I don't know what that means. Is that a Switzerland thing? I can't believe I agreed to recap this show, honestly. This is just going to be 10 episodes of me embarrassing myself online, for sure. Now, after episode 1, I'm like, every time a bunch of things are in the background, I'm pausing.
Yeah.
And I'm curious if you guys are too at home and you're watching, because now we know that they're like dropping hints randomly, like Jennifer Aniston and Eva Longoria, which is crazy. Crazy hint. But I, now, whenever there's like multiple things on screen, I'm pausing. Go ahead.
No, I can't. The Jennifer, like, the idea that somebody would think of that.
Didn't somebody else say it too? Like, Taya?
But when did they say that?
Well,
after
also,
they were already like, you're in Geneva?
Well, okay, that was another thing I wanted to say. They aren't telling them where they are. To my remembrance, they never told everyone on the bus they were in Rome, and they never told everyone that they were at Lake Geneva. They just tell the person that gets kicked.
That's true. That is what we're assuming. I don't know if they're learning that. I should ask on Wednesday when we interview our young fuckboy.
Yes.
Whether he was told they were in Rome, how that kind of played out. So you know what? I have my question list right here. Did you know?
Put it on there, because I am curious if they're being told, because then at least they can like cross things off the list.
Yeah. I have to assume that. Yeah. And then your favorite shot happened, Mix, before they got dropped off. You got the eye goggle shot.
Yeah. So let's discuss this.
Okay.
They are giving me goggle shots. Ugh.
That sounds very sexual, by the way.
I hate it. It's awful. And then they all get their vision restored, and they're all like, oh my God, we're in snow. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, too.
I'm sorry. They fully put them in a new outfit.
Yep.
They are having to, it's not even like, okay, even if they got like helicopter dropped off, you can feel the cold.
Snow. Yeah.
And as soon as you touch ground, you know you're in snow.
Yeah.
Like, no.
Mix, hold on a second. I think me and you should audition right now for the second season of Destination X. And the way we're going to do that is we're going to cover our eyes.
Okay.
Right? And then when I make the noise, the boing, which is the goggles on noise, we're going to uncover ourselves, and then we're going to pretend that we weren't just redressed by someone in snow and weren't lugged up a mountain somewhere and felt all of it. And then we have to react as if we've been teleported into the snow.
I'm going to nail this. Go ahead.
We're going to be so good. You guys are going to want to cast us. All right. Hold on. Goggles on.
Yep.
Boink. Oh my God.
Oh my God, it's snow.
We're in snow.
Am I cold?
Where are we? Where are we?
Destination X.
Where am I? Where am I right now? Ice? Wow.
Cold?
How beautiful.
Look, it's a mountain.
Oh my God, I'm so cold.
There's snow over there too. Oh my God, we're standing on snow.
I'm standing in 3 feet of snow on a mountain.
Wait a second. We're in different clothes. When did they knock us out and put us in a completely different outfit?
And scene.
Thank you.
I feel like it's only a matter of time that we get the casting call for next season. Like immediately, me and you are on next season. Nobody knows that we know each other. See, that's how you throw this into it. This is, again, I'm not going to give you more ideas. We give one an episode, maybe. You put the number one on next season, and me and Mix pretend like we don't know each other.
Not only do we pretend like we don't know each other, we hate each other. Oh. That'd be gold. Oh, we'd have so much fun.
Like, what type of name is that to begin with? Who does she think she is?
This guy's name is not with a V, it's with a PH. Yeah.
Ugh. He must think he's so Euro.
We would start fake fighting, and then by the end, we'd hate each other,
actually. Oh, we would. Because we would use, like, real shit.
Yeah, we would. We'd, like, slide things in.
Yeah.
Just
and then it'd be like, why did she say that? Like, she knows.
I don't know, it's out of nowhere.
Crazy. What a great idea. That's the only one you get this weekend, production.
That is the only one. Actually, I'm going to give them another idea. When we have challenges of some sort, let's better explain what is happening. So, to my understanding, there are 3 piles
yes,
of snow.
Yes, there is.
Somehow those piles are labeled. I didn't see labels. I didn't follow where that was. Those labels say which... there's dogs.
I'm going to answer that for you. There was no labels. It's just piles.
Piles of snow. And then in those boxes were pieces to start a fire. If you got it right, the box under the pile had good things in it to start a fire. If you got it wrong, it had bad things. Okay, now you get that information. You think, okay, 3 piles, 3 teams. 1 pile is right. 2 piles are wrong. You would be incorrect in that assumption.
You'd be incorrect. Because Roger Federer, I go, immediately I'd be digging Roger Federer. I know I'm in Switzerland. But
Frankenstein, and then Beethoven, which apparently is not the name of that dog. Tia, I completely agree with you. That is named Beethoven. That is it.
One of my questions is, Mixie, I'm 97% sure you call this a Beethoven dog.
Absolutely, that's the Beethoven dog. I didn't realize there was a different name for it.
Saint Bernard, had you heard of a Saint Bernard before?
I have a Bernard that is mine.
Oh, okay.
But I did not. Yes, I know that Saint Bernards exist, but no, I did not know that was a Saint Bernard. Also, why is one person on the team on a sled?
Yeah, they have to drag him there, undetermined.
Why? And that was never discussed.
No. I want the people at Destination X to know right now, because we know you're listening, and we love that. We love that you're listening to the number one. I just want you to be aware. If you know there are things coming up in the challenges that are not talked about, like the sled, and it's never discussed why somebody's on the sled, this is the type of response you're going to get.
I just, come on. Okay. The piles that it's not one of 3 are correct. Randomly 2 are at one point. Sure, maybe I could look past that. Is there labels on the piles? Absolutely not. Get wrecked. Now we're on sleds.
Yes.
And they're all what I would argue is like 3 arm lengths away from each other too. So why are we on sleds?
Yeah, if we had to pull them like maybe like I don't know, a quarter of a mile, maybe now we're talking, right?
Yeah.
I would like to give a pitch on what I think happened. I think
Please.
they're like, oh, we'll put Frankenstein in there. And then somebody's like, you know, like Frankenstein, like the story was like actually like in Geneva. And somebody's like, what? And they're like, yeah. And they're like,
shit.
Hold on a second. And they're like, yeah. And they're like, did nobody QC this? And they're like, we'll just pretend there's 2 right ones in one pile. That'll really throw them off.
I was livid. I was so mad.
Oh God, it was very good. Famous figures, dogs, and food. Yeah, one of them's Federer, chocolates. Ladder Rock, shout out Ladder Rock. You do get free promo.
Okay,
you do get free promo. Mixie, I would like to know who you think wore it better. Now it's Fashion Corner continued, part 2.
Fashion
on this. Fashion, so much fashion. Nope, not them. They didn't call.
I was gonna say they're busy.
They're
again.
busy. Yeah,
crazy.
They're just living a Euro life, so they're not ready. All right, I'm going to put the images on the screen of everybody in their cold fits.
Okay.
You can see on screen right now. Here's all the groups, and I want you to tell me who you think wore it best.
You know what, Stephen? It's a lot of good body yada yada in these fits. I'm gonna have to go with Rachel, and obviously I'm gonna have to go with Rachel, but to add to it, she looks so good with her hair up and like not that. I still love her, for the record, with the whole hair situation that she normally does, but like to also see her not with that and she's just like stunning.
I couldn't believe it. I was like, she had that hair like in slick back, and I was like,
but again, you're telling me that they just put a beanie on her head? No chance. She had to unclip like 7 things to get that on the way it was on.
True. You're so true. You're gonna put the goggles on. She got the goggles over all of that.
Yeah,
And then all of a sudden the goggles come off. Oh, I'm wearing a beanie now.
When did I get my extensions taken out of my head? When they drugged me and knocked me out? Like, I don't get it.
Wouldn't that be hilarious? Like, Jeffrey Dean Morgan should be like, they should like lean into the traders version of it. He should just go, nah, I need all of you to drink a little bit of that Kool-Aid on the table, and I'll see you when I see you. And then they all just like wake up on the ground with the goggles on.
Yeah, or it's just like get out and they snap, and all of a sudden they're just all fucking...
That would be hilarious. Oh, I love that so much. But yeah, Rachel wore it better. Yeah, her look throughout this whole thing, that beanie on, she put those sunnies on. I was like, oh.
She looked great. I do want to also mention Kim, I believe, was the person that said Jonah's having a hard time.
Yes.
And that this is, quote, the hardest thing he's ever done. I would like Jonah's life, please. One Jonah's life, please. If being on the fucking Swiss mountains is the hardest thing you've ever done in your life, please order me one of those. Thank you.
Okay, I'm writing that down. Is this the hardest thing you've ever done? If so, can me and Mix both have your life?
How do I purchase a Jonah life? One Jonah life, please.
Can we purchase that life somehow?
That's ridiculous.
Is it available on TikTok Shop? Okay, thanks. Yeah, wild thing to say. This is the hardest thing he's ever done.
But I honestly don't think he's going to argue with you personally that wasn't the hardest. Like, ugh. Rick got the W, though. And I go, let's go, Rick. They're definitely going to want an alliance with you now.
No. Anything but, actually. It
backfired again somehow on him.
From 2 different angles, kind of.
Yeah, he really got cooked.
In the terms of, like, all the daily wins that we've seen, like, on All-Star Shore and now Destination X, is taking a helicopter over the Swiss Alps probably the best reward there has been?
I mean, probably. Personally, I'd be so fucking scared.
I did have that down. I wrote, I think Mix is scared of helicopters for some reason.
That would be correct. Isn't that like the number one accidents is helicopters? I just feel like they get like picked up by the wind and you just get cooked to the side of a mountain. You're donezo.
Yep, all those helicopters.
Respect, like God love the helicopter people or whatever. I'm not trying to scare anybody. I just feel like that's a guaranteed L at a certain point. You can only take so many of those before you're whipped into the side of a mountain.
I'm gonna withhold my comment.
But hey,
maybe I'll say it just for you, Mix, and I'll bleep it out.
Okay. Yeah, I don't like helicopters. They scare me. But you know, that's okay because they got to see a flag.
Yes, the Swiss flag. It's a beautiful flag. It's a beautiful flag.
It's a great flag. Everybody loves the flag.
We love a flag. Everyone loves the flag. It's so majestic. It's a majestic flag. Lots of people say it's the best flag. Everyone I know says it's a great flag.
And then they all agree in their helicopter. Yep. We're not telling anybody.
No.
I immediately was like, this is the storyline.
Bullshit. I call bullshit immediately.
And I would just like to state, everyone's like, oh, Rachel is an idiot. Rachel is the easiest target, blah, 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 blah. Rachel's the only one that didn't tell a goddamn soul. She's the only one that kept her word. Rachel's a queen.
Rachel is a queen. We knew that from the beginning. I'm wondering, does Rachel have any friends on the bus? I'm not seeing her hang out with people.
I'm not seeing it either. I think eventually they're going to get there. I think that they keep thinking, distancing themselves from her and keep continuing to throw her in to do the map is going to save them. So I don't understand why they all view her as so weak when like she won this.
Well, here's the thing, Mix. Me and you both know this. When you're incredibly hot like we are and like she is,
it's a burden.
People just think you're dumb. They're just like, oh, they can't have everything. And I'm here to tell you, we have it all.
It's hard too. These shoulders are heavy.
So heavy. Heavy from our big brains and big dicks and big everything. You know what I mean?
Yes, my massive cock.
Yes.
That I just flop on the table.
She just throws it out there for people to deal with, you know? It's like, deal with it. I think they think based off like her fit, she's an idiot. I think they were pulled in by the fit, and I also think
I'd argue the fit made me think she's smarter to be able to put a fit like that together on a daily basis.
That's true.
She does not miss.
She hasn't missed a fit yet, and spoiler alert, I don't think she's going to miss a fit.
Rachel, if I was on that bus with you, I would have allianced with you right away. I would have raised my hand in front of only you and said, I am looking for an alliance with Rachel.
I would have felt like I could have an alliance with her because she was married at the time, and I would have been like, okay, no pressure here. I don't have to like put on an act or anything like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So. Absolutely. Yeah. Allie tells, do we ever figure it out? Is it Ty or T or Tay or?
Let's go with T. How about T Money? I like T Money.
T Money. Allie tells T Money. So Allie is now not agreed to the plan as said. And then Rick decides to tell Biggie, but so loudly that Mr. Loyalty also hears it. I don't think he was trying to tell Mr. Loyalty.
I don't think so. I think he was trying to like keep the boys together, like safety numbers. And again, he's looking for an alliance. So he's going to share information. Here's what I already know. I don't want to win that challenge. There's no advantage for winning the challenge because by the time I get to the next challenge, somebody's going to spill the beans. And also there's going to be enough stuff at the next place that I'm going to know. And so there's not really an advantage yet of doing that other than like I have to lie to people and tell them I didn't see a flag when I saw a flag.
At this point, I'm with you. I think I'd be throwing the first challenge at this point until I see or hear of something greater than what is currently happening. I'm tossing that shit.
Yeah, or I'm lying. I'm getting it and I'm just lying through my teeth.
But you're getting it with at least one other person. And at this point, from what I'm seeing with all of these people, you can't trust these motherfuckers at all.
That's my point. I go over there and go, I saw a German flight. They're like, oh, they said Swiss. They're lying. They're lying. They want you out.
Crazy.
They want you out.
Crazy.
It's German. It's a German
mind
flag.
Games that I feel like they're starting to get to a point of understanding that they can start playing. We're going to hit like episode 5 and it's going to be banana land in that bus.
People are going to need therapy when this show is done. And honestly, this makes me
long-term
even more
trust
upset
issues
this week. I'm even more upset this week that Josh was out the first episode because the crash outs he would have had would have been so good.
I think Biggie's going to hold that flag, to be honest with you. I really do.
We didn't get a lot of him this episode. I think he had his show last week and he pulled back.
Yeah.
He's like, I gotta rest and recoup here. I don't want that reward. I don't know how other people feel about it. Let us know in the comments if you would want that reward for you to get that hint. But I mean, they just gave him the Swiss flag. The other one was like, hey, look, there's ruins. Okay, back on the bus. And this one was like, hey, look at that Swiss flag.
And this is kind of why I was saying I'm just not a fan of this episode. I just felt like they did such a good job last time with the challenges that they had and the hints that they gave. And this time I'm getting Eva Longoria and Jen. I'm going to keep talking about it because it's insane. I'm getting piles of snow for no reason. I'm getting a flag. I'm getting sleds. And I'm getting ringing bells, which we're about to get to, which, oh boy, did I hate this so much. But what I didn't hate was the fondue. Stephen, fondue fucks. Fondue fucks so hard. I love fondue.
I can't tell the last time I've had fondue.
Oh, I remember when I first moved to LA, my roommate and I went to Goodwill and they had a $4 fondue set and we bought it and we used that motherfucker every other week at least. Because what you can do, friendly tip for everyone, what you could do, go to Ralph's or Vaughn's or whatever grocery store, Kroger, wherever you are. You can get a fondue set like the cheese fondue, pretty cheap. And then you go to the sales section of produce and whatever vegetables are on sale, whatever meat is on sale, cook that shit, fondue it, it's donezo. That's a meal right there. It's easy, it's cheap, and it's delicious. You're dipping it in cheese. What's the problem? Unless you're lactose intolerant, I'm so sorry. But
well, that's where I was getting to. I feel like I'd have to do it at my house, and I wouldn't be able to do this with a young lady that I was trying to entertain.
Start the date with a Lactaid, and then you get into the fondue.
Yeah.
That's what you got to do. I love fondue. Chocolate fondue, cheese fondue. Also, you could just like put a bunch of oil in it, in those things, and then cook your meats.
Sizzle? Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. Little sizzle.
I love fondue. Little melting pot action. Sign me up.
While we're on a high, everybody, let's play Mixie's favorite game of all time. Are you guys ready for the title? Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for Mixie's favorite game. Mixie was right.
I do love this game.
I knew it. I knew it.
Go ahead.
I knew it. The sitting area is the upstairs of the bus, and the sleeping area is the downstairs of the bus. Ladies and gentlemen, Mixie got it right.
That's so good. I will say, I did say I thought the beds were upstairs and the sitting area was downstairs, so I had it flipped. But at least I didn't think there was a second bus. So hey!
Now I didn't need to catch a stray in the middle of that.
Okay, but I just wanted to be very clear that I didn't technically get it 100% correct.
Just take the dub. I mean, come on, take the dub. You were right.
Ooh, you can't see me.
Ooh, you were so ready for that.
Wow!
That's the thumbnail.
No.
That's the thumbnail. That's the thumbnail. You were so... Oh, my screen just fell. Hi, everybody.
Stellar.
You thought I was really going to set you up for a bad game, and because I'm a teammate, and I like to,
Okay, Steven, listen, respectfully, we are watching a show about geography. I'm sorry for thinking that you were going to set me up for yet another embarrassing situation where you were going to ask me questions that I did not know.
Big wall.
Of China, and I stand by it. Yeah, we're at Three Names Cabin, and it's beautiful. And there's fondue, like I said, and I'm fucking pumped.
Shane goes in first.
Yeah, Mr. Loyalty goes in first, and he has to pick 5 bells. Now, here is where I, again, got upset. I wanted it to be Mr. Loyalty going in, putting 5 bells on, and then everyone else is just going in and seeing that there was 5 bells.
Oh, yes.
And then all the mind games would start happening in that point. Mm-hmm. That's not happened. Loyalty also not so loyal, putting Biggie and Allie, saying he thinks that he has a thing with Allie, so he's going to put Allie on there so that people don't think it's him. And then secondly, everyone knows he's friends with Biggie, so he's going to put Biggie on there so that nobody thinks it's him. Check your chest, sir.
It's not loyalty.
It's right there. It's right there.
Maybe you should have put it upside down. So when you look down, you can read it.
Honestly, that would have made it a better tattoo.
Yeah.
A better tattoo.
I think he's showing everybody. Like, he's not showing himself because it reads wrong to him. He's trying to teach everybody else about loyalty. I think we figured it out.
Yes, but not himself, because it is non-existent. For him to put Biggie and Allie up there, I was like, use a bitch, dude.
He said people know that him and Allie are getting close. And I'm like, what? Where? Actually,
because you told her you're Pooh Bearing in bed.
A word of that, because you're Pooh Bearing. Sir, stop.
It's a no for me, dog.
Stop, Allie. Stop. Loyalty should have been out immediately.
So Allie and Tay, Money T, Big Money T. They go in. They're looking at all this.
Do we call her two job T?
2-Job T. I like that. 2-Job T. 2-Job T and Allie go in. They completely miss Jeffrey Dean Morgan sitting on the couch. First off, hilarious. Second off, hilarious. How? There is an aura that comes off that man. And I've never even been in the same room as him, and I can feel it through the screen. How? And he loved that they didn't see him. He was eating it up.
The more I watch Jeffrey Dean Morgan, the more I realize him and TJ Lavin are from the same lineage.
They have to be. We have to, what is it? What is that thing where you send blood? Ancestry. We have to Ancestry.com. 21andMe, 23andMe.
That's another one.
20-something and me.
Baskin Robbins.
20-year-olds and me.
Oh, gross. It's a different website.
Anyways,
very different.
I think that they are like second or third cousins in some realm of the world.
Has to be.
Yeah.
Yes, them not knowing and then having to remember these bells. All right, Mix. You want to talk about the bells?
Horrible, terrible, awful. Hated it. What the fuck? First off, again, terribly explained. There's 2 of them sitting there. I'm thinking they both had to do it. Nope, they do it together. Never said at any point. Never said. Secondly, we're just having Jeffrey D. Morgan go bing, 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 bong. Why?
Also, they got to go in together, so you're only worrying about half of it, and the other person's worrying about the half. Make them do it all. Like, you need 7 or more.
I wasn't as mad when I thought it was just 2-Job T and Allie doing the bells, and then I thought, okay, Mr. Loyalty got putting the bells. They got the ring bells. What's the next situation? Nope, we're just all ringing bells now at this point.
More bells.
That's when I got real mad. We're all ringing bells?
Yeah, so it's really changing.
And now all of a sudden there's 3 of them together, then there's 1. What?
I would have preferred that the team that won got to go in and change the bells once, and that was it. Right? You got to see that
again,
it was a Swiss flag.
You're okay. We told them only one thing, and you're giving them 2. But you're right.
Damn it!
You're right again.
I'm just so good at producing.
You can't turn it off, and I understand.
I can't turn it off. And listen, I know producers from the show are following the number one because you reshared our reels, and thank you.
Yeah,
but like follow back.
Okay. And then Jonah goes in there. This guy is a mess. This guy got held back at the Institute of Fuckboy because my goodness, out of nowhere has he just fallen apart.
Or is this the biggest brain F-boy move ever? I'm going to look like a lost puppy. I'm going to be like, I need help. People help me.
Oh.
And then I just befriend all these women and I fuck them.
It's a call. It's a move.
It is a move. And honestly, it's probably working for a lot of young ladies at home watching this show.
It might honestly be. I'm curious what his DMs look like. Maybe ask him that if he's been getting some DMs from the show from the ladies. I would like to know that. While you write that down, again, I'm pissed because Jonah doesn't get them all right, but I guess gets enough right to change one. What are we doing?
Well, you had to get 5 because in the other group they got 5. Like, you listen to the first 5, I'll listen to the last 5.
But he was alone. That's his fault. That's the section he picked in. I don't understand. I'm mad. I'm upset. Then he's like, I don't want to move myself. And Jeffrey D. Morgan's like, hello?
Even at the end, Jeffrey D. Morgan's like, let's take a walk and let me tell you how reality television works.
I laughed my ass off at that.
So good. So
good.
I love it. I love him more.
See, this is why I don't think it's a fuckboy move, because unless he's long gaming like the audience and playing to them.
Which I think is what's happening, honestly.
That's such a massive brain. I don't even know if I could be in the same room as it.
No,
there
probably
wouldn't be
not.
enough space.
No, not with your giant cock and his giant brain. Just couldn't do it.
Then, Stephen, I think the greatest shot in television history happened.
Okay.
There is an argument, right? We're arguing about who said what about the flag or whatever. We cut to a groundhog for no reason. I laughed so hard. I rewound twice. I watched that sequence of events 3 times total. That is the funniest. Why?
I think they were trying to do a meme to be like the groundhog going, what?
Stephen, that was the greatest moment in television history. Give it an Emmy.
Okay.
I laughed. I have tears in my eyes right now just thinking about it. I laughed so hard at it.
I'm telling you what was the best moment for me on television in recent memory was shortly after that. I think this is like a minute and a half after that. If that, they're going to commercial.
Mm-hmm.
It's been determined they're going to commercial. The Destination X bumper is on the screen as they're getting ready to leave.
Uh-huh.
And we hear Kim, who is just living her life, thinking about going back on the bus, and says,
"Hey, can we bag up those marshmallows?"
What an icon.
Can we bag up the marshmallows?
Can we also talk about Kim giving away the dogs for free in Jeffrey D. Morgan's house? She's barefoot. Why?
Why?
Who knows?
Why? I don't think I've ever seen anything like that.
Kim.
During a daily challenge,
Absolutely.
she's
amazing.
like, if I'm gonna be in this thing, I'm gonna kick my shoes off. I'm gonna let him breathe.
Absolutely lets the dogs out. Who let the dogs out? Kim.
Bag up those marshmallows.
Asking
Kim's
for the marshmallows.
to take back on the bus. Like, are you gonna throw those marshmallows away? Can we bag those up?
And she sits at the table, looks Jonah dead in the eye, and says, "You're the weakest."
I can't get over that moment. I just can't. We're like, oh, Kim's so sweet, she's so darling. Just looks him in the face. You can't handle this.
Also,
You're
when
the
they were doing
weakest.
the bells, and Rick goes, "You got to make a story," and she goes, "What the fuck?"
What the fuck are you talking about? There's 5 of them. Just remember.
What the? We don't need a story. His first 5 taps, I memorized. His last 5 taps, you memorized.
And then he
Kim.
is just trying to be like, the octopus went to the Italian restaurant
I loved it.
and he ordered bruschetta.
And ran up the hill.
With a bunch of goats. And was like, yeah, look at that.
I did it.
And she's like, yeah, I did it and I didn't have to create a story. Like, you created an extra step.
Absolutely insane. Like 8 minutes of Kim. Just Kim went on a rant in that little section of the episode, and that was it.
I can't get over the fact that she asked them to bag up the marshmallows. She asked production, can you bag up the marshmallows? I don't want you to throw them away. Can we bring them back on the bus?
I liked those.
Those were really good. I'm a big
and I
marshmallow
respect that.
I do. She's like, if you're going to throw them away, give them to us on the bus.
Give it to me, girl. And I love that.
And this is when Allie allegedly said, oh, hey, Jen Garner, Eva Longoria, Jen Eva. I'm like, no.
No,
you didn't realize that.
No, you did not.
That's just not. That's not happening.
Bullshit. Mac's comment about the bell, that made sense to me. That was a good hint. That made sense. Geneva, no.
All the little drawings on the bell also were leading there. Obviously, the big fountain, which is in Lake Geneva. If you've been there, you would recognize that right away. All the items on the bell, the Swiss Army knife thing. Listen, since we're talking about the clues, when Jeffrey Dean Morgan at the end. No, I'm leaving that right for the end. That's going to be my final rant. Sorry.
All right. Well, let's get into the map. We go into the map room, the people that were selected. I knew it was Jonah.
Yeah.
I mean, we all knew it was Jonah.
Yeah.
It just was a rough watch at that point until the end. Up until Mr. Jeffrey D. Morgan came in and said that it was Jonah, and he got up to start hugging people while he was crying and giving us a fantastic show of Cheeks becoming this week.
Ass of the week. Ass of the week.
We love crying booty.
That I don't think I'm allowed to say that as a guy. I think that's like wrong. I don't think I can say that.
I'm allowed to.
Yeah. Crying booty. Wow. I didn't see that coming. I mean, we've seen lots of different things on this show, on the number one, all sorts of different types of asses of the week given out. Crying ass of the week. Don't think that's a new one.
I think it's a new one as well, but it was beautiful. It was beautifully done. At the very end, obviously, we know now the way that this show works. Jonah gets off the bus. Jeffrey D. Morgan is there. Shocking Jeffrey D. Morgan telling him that he got fucked.
3 miles apart, allegedly. Now, Mac did say she screwed up when she zoomed out, so I don't think she was lying about that. And we did say before, like, if you pick the same city, they're going to go down to exactly on the map where you were.
Yep.
So make sure you're picking a city center, everybody.
Yep.
Something there, again, if you study the challenge, you should know that when Jeffrey Dean Morgan is going to reveal who you are, where is he going to be standing? Next to a body of water.
Obviously, he's going to be next to a body of water.
He's going to be screaming monotonely at you, telling you screwed up and you don't know how to play reality television.
Yep. And he will walk you away by saying, let me explain what reality TV is. Fantastic line as well.
It's just so good. It's so really good. Okay. Let's talk about the reveal of the clues now that we've lost Jonah. R.I.P.
Yeah. Jen Aniston, Eva Longoria. What the fuck is that?
Did you guess my clues? And I'm like,
no.
Yeah, I think we got a couple of them. And then they show the Geneva, and I was like, no, sir.
No.
And then it's like, did you see that there was a Lakers jersey on the wall with my name?
That pissed me off, too.
I also go, that's not a Lakers jersey, sir. I know what the Lakers jerseys look like. That's some sort of Euro trash league jersey that you put your name in the back on. Don't tell me that's a Lakers jersey.
And also, that's a bullshit fucking chip as well. Absolutely not. I'm supposed to get Lake Geneva from a Lakers jersey with your
last name. That's not even
a
real Lakers jersey.
Fuck off.
It's not even a real Lakers jersey. I'm going to put it on the screen right fucking now. Look at those two jerseys. Not the same.
Not even close.
Now, if it was a Lakers jersey, I'd be like, Lakers. Lake something, Lake Geneva. But it wasn't.
Jen Aniston, Eva Longoria.
We're reaching. Listen, I know you can't just give it away. I understand that.
Yeah, but I think they could have gone more into like the watches.
Sure.
And like time.
He was like, hey, did you see the thing on the wall was telling you me? Did you see my wrist? It was a Rolex. Sir,
yeah.
How would I see that from that far away?
I'm going to give that a nope.
No, I did not see that. I feel like part of this is very Taylor Swift lore, where the Swifties like create these like things out of nowhere.
Yeah.
They're like, now, did you see on her photo that she posted 3 years ago? She's holding her arms like this, and one finger is pointing at 2, and the other finger is pointing at 11.
Yep.
So November 2nd is what she's telling us. And I'm like, ladies, we need to take a break.
Yeah.
We need to go touch some grass.
Let's all go outside and look at the sun.
Yes. And it's like, hey, did you know that I was wearing a Rolex?
Yeah, that was bullshit. That was.
Did you also see when you sat down to do the thing that Mixie loves the most, which is doing a little dip in that fondue, that I had 191 pieces of cheese, and we all know 191 seats are part of the UN, which is in Geneva. Also, did you notice when you came into my little room there was purple bed sheets on the bed, and those purple bed sheets are in the novel that Malcolm Wildbrook wrote. And we all know Malcolm Wildbrook. He was born at sea, but he set up home and self-published his books in Geneva. Come on, guys. He was right there for you.
Eva Longoria, Jennifer Aniston.
Listen, we love the show, but you can't give us that. And honestly, you know what?
Better than that, especially after you gave me episode 1.
In a way, I kind of respect it. In a way,
is funny, but
it's a little Joe Millionaire. It's a little Joe Millionaire.
Totally. But that is not how I got it on episode 1.
That's true.
If episode 1 had some bullshit like that, fine. But you gave me like legitimate clues.
Yeah, Swiss Guard, the thumbs up, the Ninja Turtles. I have a fear.
We're going to get into
6
the
episodes,
weeds, Stephen.
Absolutely. We're going to be loving Jennifer Aniston and Eva Longoria.
We're going to be missing Jennifer Aniston and Eva Longoria.
That's going to look child's play. Versus what we got. You're going to get my purple bedsheet type thing.
I think that you're right, unfortunately. I'm going to give this to you. I'm going to agree. I think that we're fucked.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, we were in London. You should have known from the clue where I put a face of a random guy. His name is London Sampson. He has 10 followers on TikTok, and he posts 1,000 videos a day about London. Should have got that.
Yep.
It was right there for you.
Idiots.
You dumb morons. So easy.
Oh,
you all picked that we were in Spain, you dumb pieces of shit.
I think you're right. I unfortunately think you're right. I'm scared now. But it was still, okay, although I was upset about the challenges, although there were things that I was like, are you really going to put Eva Longoria and Jennifer Aniston in frames and expect me to know that it's Lake Geneva? I still was entertained. There was still no point in the episode where I was like, ugh, is this still going? I still was entertained.
I was entertained throughout the entire thing.
Yeah.
I thought it's really smart still.
It's
I love every second of it. It's great. I'm trying to figure out if everybody's been in the map room yet. And
no.
Like, you legitimately had the reason. Like,
Rick hasn't.
Rick just putting Rachel in because Rachel was like, who opened their fucking mouth? When we all agreed not to say anything. And he's like, well, I'm going to put her up there now.
Kind of sick.
You were just trying to create alliances. And then this one girl who literally does not have an alliance that you were aware of, you just go, eh.
Well, he knew it was dead at that point.
Come on.
A great time was had between me and you, Stephen, and I hope you guys enjoyed the episode as well. Make sure you're following us on all of the platforms, as we always suggest. We did have some hotties. I think we can get into them next week. You know, we haven't really talked about the hotties in the Destination X world, so I'm going to mention it right now. Guys, if you're still listening, thank you so much. We have a Facebook group, and I really want to get into the weeds of Destination X in this Facebook group. So make sure you follow the link in the description on YouTube. It's there on whatever podcast website you're listening to or app. It's there as well. Join. I will terribly read your name.
Oh, yeah.
Stephen will judge your profile photo. We'll talk about you a little bit at the end of the episode next week. And then you're in the hotties. We're going to get into the weeds of this stuff in there. I really want everybody to join. So make sure you're doing that. Also, while we're at it, review the podcast. Apple Podcasts, Spotify now allows you to review. I would really appreciate that. I know Stephen would as well. Am I forgetting any other place you can review?
No. I mean, you could leave comments on YouTube, obviously, everybody, and you should be subscribed over there. We see the percentage of the people who watch that aren't subscribed, and I've asked YouTube to give me all of your names.
And I will find your addresses. I know people. We greatly appreciate you guys listening to us. We will have Jonah's exit interview, just like we had Josh's, before next week's episode, and we'll have a little teaser in the next episode as well. We really greatly appreciate you guys listening and playing along with us. We will see you next week. All of the love. Bye.